Welcome to Musicians at High Noon. So I've got a little company here in New Hope called Go To Concierge. It's a little bit of everything, but I'm doing just like you guys. I'm adapting a lot, so I've been doing a lot of hosting stuff, which is why Steve asked me to be here. So Steve is on with us. Want to give him a quick thank you.
Hey, Steve.
Something to gather I'm reading from. Oh, well, yeah. Well, why thank you to Steve? Because he has been, oh, there he chatted. He said, thanks. You're welcome. Steve has been putting together these articles for the New Hope Free Press that are all based around positivity and connecting our community with like uplifting articles of what everyone is doing and how we've adapted. And that's what we're going to kind of focus on at today's Musicians at High Noon. I called it the positivity possibility positivity possibly uplifting meet pie of music you've selected.
Oh my goodness. I like it.
It's a mouthful, but I dug it too. So let's see. Let's start with Jerry.
Okay, yeah, I'm Jerry, and I keep it brief. I mean, I lived in New Hope for kind of 3 years before I'm from Stockton. I lived in New Hope for about 3 years before I moved here, but I moved back home briefly for about a year to save money. But I'm in Nashville, just doing the same thing I've been doing back home, just writing and just, keep growing and enjoying the process. And yeah, it's nice. Just doing the same thing, just in Nashville, basically.
All right. How about Tyson and Christina?
So, I'm Tyson Salete. I played in a million bands. Grew up in Detroit, moved to Brooklyn for a bunch of years, and then moved to Chicago for some years, and then ended up down New Hope Way, where I met my wife, Christina, and we play in a band together. We co-write for a band called Your Kids. And I'm also in a one-off band that I would like to rep as well called Ominous Black Turtleneck, which consists of myself, Justin Pope, Cloud Foster, and Brian Huggins. Also, Cloud Foster and Brian Huggins are in the Your Kids band as well. And that's basically what we do. But Christina?
Hi, I'm Christina Lord, and we are in Dublin. I'm really bad at interviews.
And that's Dublin, Pennsylvania, not like
Dublin, Pennsylvania. And yeah, I play in a band with this guy, and also write sad folk songs. And I have cool kids.
How many cool kids?
2. One is in the other room, actually being quiet for the time being. He's 7. His name's Logan. And the other one is 22, and she is a phenomenal bass player. Her name's Raina. Yeah. Yeah, she's really, really good.
Cool. Well, thanks, guys. How about JB?
I know everybody here, and I've been playing a long time. Probably I'm older than everybody. Not probably. Definitely. And I even used to give Jerry some lessons, didn't I, Jerry?
Yep. Yeah, he taught me everything I know, and he was my only teacher.
Oh, wow, really?
Well, I mean, I've learned a little things since that on my own, but yeah.
I just got to say, this has been like one of the weirdest experiences I've ever been through, this whole Corona stuff. But when you go through weird experiences, sometimes you take with that as you get exposed to it and come out of it, which is sort of what's happening now, I hope. You learn new things, I'm sort of upgrading my whole repertoire. I'm changing what I do, what I sing. I'm injecting a lot of stories and things like that into my show. And everybody's seeming to like it. And I'm doing a lot of live streams. I do the once a week stream on Friday morning at 10 in the morning.
I'm Bronwyn, and we run the Birdhouse Center for the Arts. I'm from Doylestown originally, but both of us live in Lambertville, New Jersey. Let's see what else. We have 2 awesome kids also, one 4-year-old and one 2-month-old. So yes, we have a pandemic baby, which is pretty special. And what else? I play the nickel harpa. I guess that's an important fact here. And I've been finding that in this crazy time, I'm actually suddenly inundated with online nickel harpa students. So that's what I've been learning how to do. JV, I've been figuring out how to do online nickel harpa lessons, and that's
That is cool.
yeah,
I did my first lesson.
World.
Did my first lesson, my first Zoom lesson last Monday, and I'm doing another one tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a different.
And rumor has it, Bron, when you're like even the wiki girl, you're up on the wiki page.
I am. It's a horrifying picture from when I'm about 18 years old. I'm like a little like cross-eyed, and but I am. I'm on the wiki page of nickel harpa, and I've been teaching now these online nickel harpa lessons to people all over the place that wouldn't otherwise have access to a nickel harpa teacher because they're out in Indiana and Ohio and all of these not nickel harpa saturated places.
That's kind of neat. That's kind of neat.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's neat. And I know we're going to talk about it later, but we've also been having a lot of fun playing around with live streams and challenging ourselves to do something different every week with that. So this past week, Justin and I did some 90s music, and
we've done bluegrass, old time music. We've done our own music. We've a variety, but I also love each of you have posted videos. Even this morning, Jeff, I saw that Reps from More Than Q posted a great video of you today playing outside.
Oh, really?
Live guitar. I've seen Jerry. I learned Jerry got a new Martin guitar through live stream. I would never have known that. I know you guys are covering, Phoebe Bridgers and a bunch of other great artists. And, it's been really cool to see what people are doing. It's enabled us to feel connected. I've learned a whole lot about what you're all working on, and I don't think I would have known otherwise. So that's really cool. The live streams have been really great, and even for our business, doing online lessons has been a great way to sustain ourselves, but also communicate with people. I've been working through a hospital as well, doing online sessions with our old folks, and it's just been really amazing to be able to connect. And as Jeff said, this is a really unprecedented time, and coming out of this, we are learning things, what to do, and being able to watch ourselves and replay the videos in some ways has been really, really good. So
yeah, I should have said that. We're both music therapists, so that's the main thing that we do.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ride that tailwind of positivity y'all are putting out there with connecting and stuff, because that's what we're doing today. And I'd like to jump into these albums that you've picked. So for those of you who will be watching this later, everyone submitted some information to us. You may use it now, or maybe you've changed your mind. I don't know. I don't care. Just go with it. Have fun. But the theme was to pick your top 3 albums that are helping you get through the pandemic and quarantine. And I had the opportunity to learn some new music. I'm not going to say what it was, but I learned some new music. And it was really interesting to hear and experience what you guys are going through in your own ways, because they were all actually a little bit different. So let's see what Christina.
All right. So
Oh yeah.
Good, I can get it over with. So it's really hard to narrow that stuff down. So like I guess I'll just put on Spotify mostly. Tyson has a lot of records, and we'll listen to those. So I think, what was the first thing that I put down? Big Thief, that album Capacity, like really just resonated with me. And even before the whole quarantine hit, I think. And for me, like I'll get like, I'll start to listen to something, and then I will listen to it for like 6 months if it like really sticks. You know what I mean? I don't know. And there are certain things that really just, and I'm sure all of you other guys, like you can relate. Yeah, like you listen to it and you're like, what the heck? Where did this come from? And it's so weird because the first time I heard that album too, it was just like, it's all right. And then all of a sudden it was like, this is just amazing. It's just amazing. I mean, the songwriting is just so, just like real, It's not like kind of just, it wasn't written for anybody in particular in a certain manner, I feel. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Yeah.
Can you guys relate with that? I mean, I know she's starting it off, and maybe you can chime in a little bit more later.
Yeah, I'd like to say something
Yeah.
about songwriting. Like songwriting is everybody. I always feel like a good song is something where everybody can inject their own thought about the song and what somebody's talking. You could write about a picture. You know, it's like a good painting or something like that. You sort of inject your little story into the painting, and you can do that with a good song. You know. And
You know, it's really interesting. I felt the same way going through everybody's. I'm like, I wonder how they feel listening to it compared to how I feel and how how I feel and how I relate.
And like, you know, like JB, one thing that he told me, some sage advice many years ago, and JB's been a huge proponent of everybody on this call, I'll tell you that much. He's the king of that town, and is incredibly supportive of everybody.
Oh, thank you, Tyson.
He's the king.
You told me, you know, if you got the song, nothing else matters. You could be the best guitar player in the entire world. You could be the best pianist in the entire world. You could be the best singer in the entire world. But it's the song, and if you got the song, everything else falls into place. And so
that's totally
true.
I
got goosebumps.
People like songs. They love songs. They don't care what you sound like. You know, really. They want to hear a good song. Like, that's how Bob Dylan made it. The dude has a terrible voice.
Yeah.
You know? But, man, he's got the songs, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, some people can't sing at all. Tom Waits.
And Tyson, since you jumped in there, I'm going to let you go ahead and take over with your...
Apropos, JB, because I selected Frank's Wild Years by Tom Waits.
All right.
And this album, I mean, she'll tell you. I've gotten more into cooking, and like I just run around the kitchen and I just got Tom Waits blaring. I don't know why. It's just a really good cooking music for me. But this album in particular, it's like a drunken barroom brawl from beginning to end, and none of us can be out. None of us can be around. You know, other people, but this album feels like a night out at a seedy bar, and so that's why I chose that one.
We all need a few of those.
Exactly.
That's all fun. And JV, since you were chiming in there too, I'm gonna let you go next. What
Now, well, did I tell you the albums that I thought?
No, but that's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Or I'll be surprised.
I've been listening to a couple albums since this stuff all broke out. Nick Drake's first album is a great album. There's a dude that can write a song, and you don't have any idea what the hell he's talking about, but it has a certain mood to the song, and you listen to the song, you're like, oh, that's a great song. So
when you say mood,
I don't have any idea.
How are you relating that mood to what's going on now?
Well,
or how
mellow. His stuff is sort of mellow, and if you come home after your mind being totally turned upside down by this whole stuff, and what's going on, and how are you going to make money, and how are you going to pay your rent, and all that stuff, which everybody, I have that building, the building where my store is, nobody's paying me any rent now. I have like no money coming in. I had to totally figure out a whole new way to make some money, like by putting stuff online and going on eBay and things like that. It's hard on the mentality sometimes. You got to rethink your whole life, which does you good, actually, in the long run. Does you good. But
so
I got home and I was
totally
like tired and sort of upset, and I just wanted to have a sip of wine and mellow out, and I put on some Nick Drake, and Nick Drake is mellow, and he just takes you to another world, and sometimes you need to go to, that's music can, if music can take you to another world, especially one that you inject your own stuff into the song, and you have your own world connected to that world of that song, and then it's a really good song for you.
From beginning to end, it just flows so well. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, it really does.
He's a beautiful
He has these
writer.
alternative tunings that people just weren't doing to the capacity, and using these melodic structures, and the lyrics are just, it grips you.
It's one of those things when you try to cover it, you're like, no.
Yeah. That's exactly right. You can't cover it.
If I wasn't intrigued before, I totally am now. I will check it out. I'm gonna circle back to Bronwyn and the nickel harp. I don't know if that's going to be the top one of the three you threw out, but what's your top album?
Well,
That's helping you.
this was a really interesting project for me to try to come up with albums. I realized that what I actually listen to the most, and I didn't list this, but what I listen to the most is recordings of my friends playing from social gatherings that I've been to, and they don't exist for me to share with you. But that's actually what I go to the most, is these recordings, because it brings me to those places and those good times that I was having with them. Sometimes I'm not even listening to the recording. Sometimes it's just playing in my head. I always have music playing in my head. And that's the stuff that is making me the happiest right now. But since we were supposed to pick albums, I picked albums. And since you're talking about nickel harp, I guess I'll go with that. Why not?
Yeah.
One of the albums.
You don't have to. No pressure.
Well, it's a great one. So I honestly, I cannot order them, so I may as well just go with it.
Okay.
One of the ones I put on there is an album called Vesson Street by the group Vesson, and it's a Swedish nickel harpa group. They're these massively tall, hilarious Swedish guys, one nickel harpist, one violist, and a 12-string guitarist. And it's the music that I actually listened to while giving birth to Willow. So it has a very, very positive, believe it or not, that was a positive experience. Very
I
positive
picked the right
memories
music
for me. And I bouncing on this yoga ball, and Justin put on Vesson Street, and we were having a good time.
I think we
with
literally
it.
listened to their entire catalog, even their live album during that process. But
yeah. And so now spinning back, whenever there are, tougher times for me, it's like, well, if this got me through childbirth, I mean, come on, how much worse can it get? We can do this. So,
that says a lot of things for moms. I think you can get through childbirth, you can get through a pandemic. I think that's a really big statement there. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And if you can get through childbirth during a pandemic, then whew. Yes.
Yeah, Brooklyn. I mean, that's huge.
Right.
I'm sure a lot of people are doing it too.
yes.
We got in there and out of there just in time. So Aurelia was born on March 5th. So the pandemic had started, but we kind of managed to get back to our cozy home abode before things got real crazy.
And I love that Aurelia is involved in the videos too. We get a huge
Yeah, we've been having a lot of fun making music with the kiddos. We've been doing a live stream on Friday mornings at 10:30. That's Willow and I came up with our own YouTube channel. We've got The Win and Willow, and that's been a lot of fun. And there's kids from England watching and commenting, and
awesome
friends this way. It's been a lot of fun.
It is. I had a lot of fun. I was glad that you switched to that format too. It was neat to see. I mean, to heck with Jimmy Fallon and his kids. Like you're on lockdown, girl. Justin, how about you?
Yeah. Well, I've been listening to a lot of our friends play live. One of the best bands I love, they're called the Mammals, Mike and Ruthie. Started out as a trio with Tal Seeger, Pete Seeger's grandson, and people from upstate New York that are really amazing. They got a record that's coming out called Non It. It's a 9-piece band, and they got a couple of tracks off that. They have released 3 singles, and each of them have really hit home for me, just their positivity, but also the relation of what's going on, assimilating your life to the lyric to the songs, but finding some nooks and crannies for some hope. So that's been really good. I mean, I listed the albums that I listed happen to have been ones that I've listened to my whole life. Stuff like Melancholy, Infinite Sadness when I was a teenager, Stars, Set Yourself on Fire when I was in college. Tom Petty, Wildflowers has a lot of good tracks of varying, just a variety.
Oh, you know what? And actually, I haven't thought of that Stars album since like 2007. But we were all around Boston around that time, Back Bay. Like my old bandmate lived in Boston, so I kind of half lived in Boston. But that album is so great, and I haven't thought of it until you just mentioned it, and I'm gonna go and listen to it directly after because I was so of that time in Boston. I resonate with that totally.
I think he just went to pull it out of the closet.
Sweet. Well, he is pulling it out of the closet. I don't even know how to segue that. Jerry, why don't you tell us about your top pick?
Yeah, I mean, I did choose 3 albums just from stuff that's been streaming. And as you guys know, like during this, pandemic, John Prine died of coronavirus. So his wife got it and he got it, but obviously he has some health issues, and yeah, he passed away during this time. He's a local guy down here in Nashville. It's like one of the guys I work with a lot. Like he sees him in his grocery store, like like you would, he's just a local down here. But like I haven't actually. He has a large body of work, but I've listened to more of his like recent like studio albums. I bought like The Tree of Forgiveness, which he put out like I think 2018, and then there's one in 2005 that was I got into, but I never really explored John Prine much. And unfortunately, I think any artist, it doesn't even matter how big you are, like people unfortunately discover you a little more after you die, you know what I mean? But like just listening to his, I wouldn't have listened to I wanted to hear his older stuff, so I put on just some of his earliest records, and they're just so good. He's like, as a songwriter, he's just like sacred, it's just, there's something about like how he, and like he does something. I guess I'll probably try to get better at, but he mixes, like, he's very good at mixing like humor and like something, like also a lot of depth in the same song. And there's something nice about that. I think that's something to aspire for, as a writer. If you can hit like all the emotions in the same song, if it's all too heavy, sometimes it's hard to take in. If it's all too satire and funny, it's kind of, it's also hard to take in. But he had a blend where he could just put a little humor in his song, but also have like depth that it's really, he was just one of a kind. But yeah, just dived into his old stuff because I've never heard it, so.
I love that. And that was one of the things I like that you wrote down, was the, what did you say? New discovery. We have the time that you're taking that to just dive into some different stuff or rediscover. I thought that was a neat view. What you would say to anybody listening for music to lift them up and help them right now? I'll give you a second to think on that while I tell you the other thing. Then the other thing that I'd like to go back around and do is let you guys maybe plug real quick who you think is doing a good job. So I'm gonna jump up to Tyson.
So something, oh my goodness, I would just say just dive into it. I mean, like we all have like time now, and there, everyone has albums that they're like, if somebody recommends and they're like, and you're like, you just put it on your back burner. Yeah, I'll listen to that at some point in time. I'll listen to that at some point in time.
So take the things off the back burner. Put it on the front burner.
Put it on the front burner.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. How about you, Christina?
I agree. I think, just get out there and, explore, new things, and
All right. JB, something everybody listening and watching and reading can take away.
Well, all the liquor stores are open. But you can't, we have a lot of time, so you have to decide what you're going to do, because I guess that's always the case. But now it's that became one of the essential businesses that they had open was the liquor store as well, food and liquor, and the drug stores that were the first things that became open. Now everything's supposed to be coming open in New Jersey, but we'll see about that. But
so your recommendation is to get lit and hit the search button.
No, don't get too lit.
Okay.
Don't get too lit.
Cheers to that,
know what I mean? I gotta say, Buck's Coffee is open, and I gotta.
There you go. All right, Bronwyn, a quick little something to folks what they can do with music uplifting.
Yeah, sure. So what I would say is that the music that I listen to is not going to be prescriptive for somebody else to listen to. What I'd like them to do is go and find an album that is from a time that did make them really happy. So my other album that I had put on there was Simon and Garfunkel, because I spent my teens driving around with my giant yellow boombox because my car radio didn't work. So my giant yellow boombox listening to Simon and Garfunkel, going to the quarry, jumping off rocks, and it was a really good time. And when I listen to Simon and Garfunkel now, it just brings me right there. So I don't want everybody to go and listen to Simon and Garfunkel. I want them to listen to whatever it was that's bringing them to that place. And then just remember that we're going to be in that place again.
All right. So tap in and tap into that happy place and go there. I like it. How about you, Justin?
My suggestion is find any live stream that you can, whether it's a friend, whether it's a professional musician that you follow. And instead of just watching and jumping on and off, when you're watching, send them the thumbs up or the hearts during songs. Make comments during songs. We were amazed. So one of the streams that we made on Friday, someone watched it again yesterday, and it was in real time. The commentary made me feel like, man, people are actually watching this whole thing. We were there for an hour, but this person that's amazing, took an hour out of his Saturday to sit there and watch. But not only that, but commenting in real time, to go back and see that people are actually rewatching or sharing it has been a really nice consolation in this time. And it doesn't take a whole lot. There's a lot you can look at online and just leave. But when someone's out there and they're sharing their art, it doesn't take a whole lot. Even if it's not monetary, you can just throw the thumbs up or throw the heart or just make a comment.
So I like that. That's almost the pay it forward kind of kindness. Do something kind and you'll feel kind and better yourself.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot. It doesn't have to be anything. And people curate a lot of these online posts that take a long time, a lot of mental space. We're already in that mental space. We got to get things out quick.
Jump out.
I love that song. How the heck did you sing all those words? I have no idea. That nickel harpa sounds great. Whatever it is, I find that that's the best thing we can do right now. It's just give feedback to people. And if it's positive, then great. Because let's face it, if people aren't going to do these things, we wouldn't have that nourishment, and people are. So it's a really simple thing to do. It could take 2 seconds, even if you don't have the full hour. Get on there for a minute, listen to a song, love the song, send, done, thumbs up. That's it.
I dig it. All right. So people can feel better by helping other people feel better and carrying that positivity stream. Yeah. Jerry, what's your last little tidbit?
Yeah, play something that makes you feel good. Like play some reggae, play some Bob Marley, and have a beer.
All right, I dig it. So play something that makes you feel good. So I'm almost gonna cut it here, but I'm not gonna go in any particular order. I changed my mind, going off script. Whoever's the loudest wins. Tell me what's going on around town, who to support, who's cool to listen to, and then
I can tell you a couple things.
Yeah.
Got my live stream for every Friday morning at 10, Facebook. You got Ed Wall, my keyboard guy. He's 8 o'clock on Wednesday evenings, and he's good. You got Sammy Ryan, and Sammy and Matt. You know Matt.
Yeah, doing the Bridge Street Duo thing.
Yeah, they do their thing. Beecher has a thing.
Where is Beecher doing it through by himself? Is he connecting it with Carla's and doing Thursday night also?
I don't think he's doing. I'm not sure exactly when he's doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he is doing Thursdays or every other Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I know he's connecting it with Carla's because he's giving them half the money.
Oh, that's great. That's great. What else is going on? You guys hear of anything else?
So to that point, both of us are lucky in that I have a job that I work remotely, but some folks aren't. And so, I don't want to, we may do some performances, we may do anything. I don't want any Venmo, I don't want anything. What I want is to support the, the birdhouses of the world, the John and Peters. There's a GoFundMe page. Go give money to John and Peters. Give money to Carla's and all those staffs that work at these places that are significantly impacted, who are real, supporters of live music in the area. The servers
support
are
those who support us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Servers and bartenders are out of work. Carla's does actually have some carry-out orders that they do a couple times a week, so check that out. But John and Peters right now, they are like the mainstay in our New Hope community for live music. I mean, they're the longest running live rock and roll music venue in the country. And right now they have a GoFundMe open, so I would recommend that you do it. They're still doing an open mic on Monday, thank you, Steve, which is virtual. But you know, those are the people who support music in our community, and now's the time we need to support them.
Yeah.
That's great. I didn't even know about the open mic on Mondays. That's cool information. Jerry, I'd love, you know, if you want to say anything about anyone local here, that's cool. But in case this reaches anyone in the Nashville area, if there's anything going on in Nashville that you wanna tell us about, maybe we can see from a distance. That'd be cool too. If anything pops into mind.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's all Broadway shut down. That's like your tourist stretch. Like, there are some bars that actually recently opened that did music, so it's kind of a weird. Most places are closed still, but it's interesting how there's like maybe some stragglers that are opening, but it's just the vibes are off. I'm personally not going. I'm not going out because I'm not afraid. I'm not living in fear. There's just the vibes are. It's just not time to be going out to me to be doing it yet. But
Can I throw in that there's some great kids artists in the area doing live things too,
Yeah.
besides our Win and Willow Friday morning 10:30 thing. There is Larissa Hopwood, who does fantastic adult and kids music, but she has something live almost every day for kids. Lolly of Lolly and Yo-Yo. And Yo-Yo, Yvonne Custers, is doing some great kids exercise movement things that happen several times a week as well.
Fun.
I can't remember what days they are, but there's something almost every day from one or the other of them. And then there's another girl who's not right here, but she's also a parent and doing great things. She has an organization called Music for Kiddos. She does a fantastic kids live stream every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So Music for Kiddos, a lot of fun also. So support the moms and pops trying to do stuff with their kids.
And to piggyback on Bronwyn here, since she was just talking, there are organizations in our two neighboring cities here that bring in people like ourselves to do kids music, like Fisherman's Mark. You know, we were going there every other week for a year now, and now we don't get to see those kids right now. But they have ways of developing programming and education. So I just want to also remind people that there are a lot of schools, in particular, Fisherman's Mark comes to mind because they've cultivated a lot of arts and music programming for people, and in turn supporting people like our business and a lot of other people. So that's another one that comes to mind that I feel like even if you don't think of them as being music, they definitely have their hands in music and art and education, and it's great to know them and be a part of their programs. So that's another tidbit.
I love that. Awesome. Well, guys, that about wraps up our musicians at high noon. Congratulations on being the first.
All right.
I love firsts. Firsts are my favorite. Not let everybody else after this one be cool. But yeah.
They won't be as cool. It's fine. No, I would just like to say thank you guys for putting this together, and everyone who's on this call. I mean, we're all friends. We all know each other. We've all worked together. We've all played together. And these are all people that I would have liked to have just gone on a Zoom meeting with, but wouldn't have. So I miss all you guys.
You played in my basement, didn't you?
Yeah, I played in your basement for many years.
That's crazy cool. Well, thanks again. Thanks again to New Hope Free Press and Steve Chernoski for trying to do this uplifting, positive thing for the community through music. And I'll see you guys in the flip side or in the funny papers and when this is all over. So enjoy the rest of your weekend.
thanks for having us.
Good.
I know,
Or
thank
be
you.
good.